Markham disappeared in 1997, and then when he did come back in 2015, they interviewed him again on his radio show, where Markham claimed that he had been transported 2 years into the future. However, the Missouri State Highway Patrol has no record of him being reported as a missing person. Welcome back to the Midnight Oil Podcast, the show where we read and discuss viewer-submitted stories about your first-hand experiences with the paranormal. Yes, you. As always, I am Tab, and I am joined by Keegan. And if you would like to submit a story for us to discuss on the podcast, you can find the link in the description of wherever you're listening, which is quite literally everywhere. We're everywhere. And without further ado, let's get into our first story. So we actually do have two. Do we want to just send both?
I think we just send one.
Just send one?
I think we send one. Why don't you,
Yeah, I can take us into this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one was submitted by Anonymous. Ooh. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure that the house I grew up in was haunted. I don't know if there was an open portal, or if it was on a ley line, or what. But weird things happened on a weekly basis. Here are a couple of things that happened over the years. My bedroom was in the basement. It was a finished basement, so not as spooky as it sounds. It also had a small living room, a bathroom, another bedroom, a storage room, and a laundry room. That's a pretty big basement, I'll be honest. So it was kind of like a small apartment. The light in my bedroom was over my bed. It had a pull chain to turn it on, like the kind on ceiling fans.
I hate those, by the way. I hate ceiling fans. I don't like how they just hover above you. I don't like when you pull the chain, it feels like it's going to break and fall off and the whole thing falls on your head. I don't like the sounds that some of them make when they're old. I don't like the fact that sometimes they have multiple light switches where one of the switches is for the light and one of the switches is for turning it on. I just hate... You know what? I didn't realize my cardinal hatred for ceiling fans until you just read that. I hate those things so much. They're so fucked up. I'm sorry.
And the fact that there's a little switch on ceiling fans that you have to switch during winter and summer.
What?
Yeah, it changes the rotation of the fan.
You're shitting me.
I'm not.
Have I had winter mode on this whole time?
Could have been.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Okay. I was woken up a few times from the sound of that chain being pulled on, but the light never came on. A few times it was pulled so hard it flew up and clinked against the light bulb. The sound would wake me up, and I would watch it swing from my bed. A few times I heard the lid slam down on the washing machine. Every time I heard this noise, I went to the laundry room to check. No one was ever in there. And the lid, which was usually kept open, was closed. And the washing machine was empty. I'll share more in another story. But what do you think? Was my house haunted?
No, but whoever put it together had some whack-ass ceiling fan that they decided to install.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. I'm reading about the ceiling fan right now, and apparently you're supposed to set your ceiling fan to rotate clockwise at a low speed because it creates an updraft, drawing the cool air from the floor and forcing the trapped warm air near the ceiling down the walls and back into the room. It reduces heating costs by up to 15%. Fuck ceiling fans, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't have ceiling fans. In the new apartment that I moved into, I have one. One ceiling fan, and it's in the living room. But none in the bedrooms.
I have just actively found out how much I hate them. But it does sound like I mean, if you hear the lid slam down on the washing machine, I'm blaming that on the ceiling fan from now on.
On the ceiling fan. The ceiling
Yeah,
fan was the real ghost.
I just yeah, they said a few times I heard the lid slam down on the washing machine, and every time they heard the noise, went to the washing or the laundry room to check, and obviously nobody was there, and the lid that's usually open was closed. That's, I mean, I don't
It's
know, man.
my thing that like convinced me that it was like that was for sure haunted was the chain or the light. Depending on how long the chain is, it being pulled so hard that it shoots all the way back up. Like it has to be pulled hard and then like either pulled hard and like thrown or like just straight up like thrown.
Hmm.
And if nobody else was in the room and that little pull chain was over their bed,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
I completely fabricated the ceiling fan. They said like the kind of ceiling fan. I thought
yeah,
there was a ceiling fan.
no. The pull chain for a light.
Oh,
Like you
that
know
makes
those
so
like
much more sense.
those creepy cellars in movies where they're like walking down the
Oh,
basement, but the basement is like the entrance to the basement is outside through those like
yeah, yeah,
sloped
yeah,
doors. You walk
yeah.
down there and the person's like looking for light switches, but they have to like pull a chain.
Hmm.
Yeah, like those. So I mean if
Mm.
like that chain just shot up and hit the light bulb and clinked it while they
Yeah,
were
that's
in bed,
spooky.
yeah. Nah.
I also
Nah.
don't like. So, my grandpa and grandma's old house, there was a spare bedroom in the basement. It was a finished basement, but I don't know why. So, right after high school, I stayed there for a couple months before I went to college. And I remember watching BoJack Horseman during COVID. And one night, that's when I saw my first sleep paralysis demon up in the corner of the room. And I always like, even though the basement was finished, I always got like weird vibes. I don't like basement. Like
I don't
unless
really
it's
like
like
basements either.
all of my game stuff at my mom's old house was in the basement, and I would go down there all the time and feel fine. But when I like in my grandma and grandpa's house, it wasn't spooky or anything. That's where the little like mini bar was. That's where like the big TV was. It's where the
Mm-hmm.
Christmas tree would go. Like the basement was like that was the spot. But yeah, no, I don't like basements. So don't put a bedroom in the basement, man. That's not what the basement's built for.
It's bad feng shui.
That's right. It is bad feng shui. And don't put a ceiling fan up in your house.
Never. Yeah.
But verdict, do you think it's a haunting?
I do. Yeah.
You think so?
I'm convinced, yeah.
Because there's no ceiling fan, I also think that it is haunted.
Yeah. And
The
the
ceiling
ceiling
fan,
fan is
it
not the
couldn't
culprit.
have done it. Couldn't have done it. The butler didn't do it.
That's fair. It was Colonel Mustard in the ballroom with the candlestick. Fucking dude, I love
uh,
Clue. I'm a beast at Clue. Not gonna
I
lie.
want to play Clue. I think I've played it twice,
Yeah.
ever. And I do like Mysterium. Have you played Mysterium?
I don't think so,
That's where
no.
one person plays as a ghost, and the only way you can communicate is with picture cards, and you have to figure out what room someone was killed in with what weapon and who did it. So it's like Clue, but the only clues that you can give are in these stacks of cards, and you have to pick from like the best of these cards.
Hmm.
I'm really bad at it because I have ADHD, so I focus on the little things. So even if there's like a little tiny bug on something, I'm like, oh, obviously it has to do with bugs. When in reality, it's literally like a farm rake with farming equipment. But I'm like, no, it's the bugs, man.
It's the bugs on the pile of dirt, like.
Uh, Speaking of bad things that humans have made, ceiling fans are on that list.
Facts.
Today's today's episode, we will be talking about the man-made inventions that have either quietly died away with that person or just interesting things that we thought we gotta talk about that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go first because this is my absolute favorite story from Dead Rabbit Radio. I bring them up all the time. Shout out to Jason. This is my I send this episode to everyone when I put them on the podcast. All right. It is amazing.
I have
So
listened to that episode.
it's so isn't it it's funny,
Mm-hmm.
it flows good. It's a great episode. Um so in February of 2004, there was a guy named Paul Adams, not the doctor or whatever. If you Google him, it is not him. Just a heads up. This is a blog post. So his name is Paul Adams. In February 2004, a man named Paul Adams started a blog with a bold claim. And it wasn't that he invented a new diet, it wasn't that he discovered a new supplement. He said that he built a food replicator out of steel cans, resistors, and wires. And
Wasn't this
he
on
said
4chan?
this was on Blogspot.
Okay, I thought it was 4chan.
No, I'm sure that it's on
That's fair.
4chan now.
I
But
mean, yeah.
this is like from 2004. And he said that he was producing something called electronic food. So, from the little bit that we know about Paul Adams, he's an independent blogger. He started posting in February of 2004 with, I stress this not enough, no listed scientific credentials whatsoever.
Well, that'll do
No,
it.
no institutional backing, obviously. No patent, no company. All right, he's just a guy documenting his
In his
personal
kitchen.
experiment.
Didn't he have some form of like it was like high blood pressure or like
Oh,
diabetes or
oh,
something along those lines?
we'll get to that. This was a very, very interesting man. So this wasn't marketed as satire. It wasn't framed as fiction. He wrote it literally like it was someone conducting serious research, but alone. So in 2004, the blog launches, posts an FAQ, and claims that you can build one for a few bucks. Now, let me tell you, if you are building something and you say you can build this to an online community, you know that regardless, this is going to be absolute internet gold. There is nothing in all of the posts that lead me to believe that this is satire. So in May of 2005, he talks about the updated comments of the food replicator, and in each update, he gives his weight and blood pressure. So the one that I have from, I'm just going to sort it because I got it up. His blood pressure and pulse starts at 132 over 90, P67, 134 over 93, P72, 143 over 87, P73, 131 over 88, P67, and 137 over 87, P71. I don't know what the P's are. I'm uneducated, but nice and normal. He's eating real food exclusively, and he's he's
If I
cutting
can
back.
interject, those were blood pressures, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I just googled it, and he was fully in hypertension the whole time.
Oh, okay.
132 over 90 is classified as stage 1 hypertension.
Is that normal for
It's
older
mild
people?
high blood pressure that requires attention. How old was he?
Like
40s, 50s? He was older, wasn't he?
He was older. So Paul Adams. Let me see if I can find it here real quick.
I'm gonna look it up for 60-year-olds.
Yeah, I
Just
would
as like a
say
general.
maybe 60s.
Okay, for a 60-year-old, that's considered generally normal.
Okay. Um,
Generally.
so I'm just gonna give you what he has given us. This is updated on September 24th, 2005. How to build your own food replicator. Materials required is 2 matching tin cans, some circular magnets, 1 lead with 2 alligator clips or equivalent, a means of checking circuit continuity, and at least 2 matching cylindrical plastic or glass bottles or similar containers. I'm not going to read all of this, but we're going to go through a couple of the steps on how he put this together. And feel free to jump in. So you get a hold of 2 new matching food grade tin cans, like 2 cans of the same tomato paste. You cannot use cans that held rat poison, for example. I don't know. That is specifically listed.
I would hope not.
Take the tops off and empty out the contents and clean out the can. And don't worry about the glue that held the label on. Also, disclaimer, do not try this. This is all at your own risk if you decide to do this shenanigans. We'll talk about why you probably shouldn't do this in a minute. Place the magnets on top of the bottom of one of the cans, placing them all the way around, the same way around. If you use circular disc-shaped magnets, one of the flat sides will be the North Pole, and the opposite flat side will be the South Pole. If you hold the flat sides of 2 magnets next to each other, if a pole faces a similar pole, i.e. both north or both south, he's explaining how magnets work, then the magnets will repel each other, and if north faces south, they will stick to each other. Put the magnets on the can so all the magnets are facing the same way, whether it is the North Pole or the South Pole that it is touching the can. I use, personally, 5 circular ones I got in a packet of 25 at the craft store. 3/4 inch in diameter and 1/8 inch, 2 centimeters across and 4 millimeters thick. It is possible that the effects from taking electronic versions of things diminish after a time. It may then be beneficial to take electronic versions of things made with the opposite magnetic polarity, i.e. flipping all of the magnets over on the bottom of the input can. This is still under test. It is not yet known if it is best to replicate everything twice, once at each polarity, and take the 2 versions together on alternate days, alternate weeks, or what, but bear it in mind. Can I just say that this is so, it feels so real. Like, I think that this did actually happen. I'm just going to put that out there first. I think this guy did make this food replicator.
Yeah.
We're just going to skip a little bit, and label, or okay, first remove the sample bottle from the output can, then the original food sample from the input can. Don't do it the other way around. Don't eat the food from the input can. Save it for a later experiment or throw it away, he says. Do not assume it is unchanged. If you are saving it, label it in such a way that you know what it is and do not swallow any of it by mistake. Optional, if not using bottles, find something to store the water in now. You're supposed to wait 10 minutes. You can put any bits of food or drink into a matching sample bottle. Do not use a different sample bottle. They have to match. If the food is dry, add some water or alcohol for some reason. and mix it up a bit and let it stand for a bit to allow the liquid to absorb the different kinds of food. Drink some. Take a small squirt, maybe 10 drops, enough to know that you have definitely taken it. Squirt it into your mouth under your tongue. Do not take any other food or drink 10 minutes before and after. It may be only necessary to take a single drop. It is not necessarily true that taking twice as much is twice as good, or even any different effect. So I just want to clarify because I'm skipping around a bit. He's not consuming any actual food.
No.
He is
Bro was fasting.
he was connecting the cans together with a lead. And it's connected with this lead clipped on each can, and to make sure the electrical connection on the device won't work. So I don't know why. There's no actual electricity, so I don't know. I have no idea. I anyway.
This had
He
to be
says
some sort of placebo for him.
it had to have been. The
Like,
best part of the can for this is the overlapping strip that runs the length of the can, and you can check this connection with a 1499 multimeter. And just to show you how old this is, he says from Radio Shack.
yo.
If you don't have another way, use two leads, clip one between one can and the positive terminal, or use other means, positive terminal of an ordinary 9-volt battery and clip the other between the second can and use the negative terminal of the battery. Wow.
Okay, so let me make
So,
sure that I'm following. So in
mhm,
one can, that's where you would put the food. And then in the
yes,
other can is just water.
water.
So he was water fasting for a good majority of this experiment.
Okay. So, yes, yes. So you fill up one of the sample bottles with tap water, because he says bottled or filtered water may not work. I don't know how he figured that out. Tap water does, though, apparently. Put it aside and don't put it in the replicator yet. All right. And then that's when you put the bits of food and drink into the matching sample bottle. Then you put the food sample bottle standing up in the approximate center of the output can, the one with the magnets on the bottom. And then you place the plain water bottle in the center of the other can, the output can. This is where you're going to be getting your sustenance from. So you wait that 10 minutes. You can leave it longer, but he's not saying that it's going to make the output any more potent. Then first you remove the sample bottle from the output can, then the original food sample from the input can, and you're drinking some. You're taking a small squirt, about 10 drops. Apparently, you may only need one.
So he didn't
Then,
even drink the whole bottle?
no,
Oh
only a
my
couple
god.
squirts.
Oh my god.
So, before your replica sample gets halfway empty, make another replica bottle. Example, with the replicator wired correctly, put the coffee replica in the input can. The can with the magnets on the bottom. Make sure it's the can with the magnets on the bottom. Then put a fresh sample bottle containing only tap water in the output can as before. Leave it for 10 minutes. Remove the sample bottle from the output can first, then the input can. Then label the new bottle, coffee replica, and then he has strength in brackets. Remember, the sample you put in the input can is now at maximum strength, whatever it was before. Standard science will not be able to explain any interesting effects except in terms of autosuggestion or you being hypnotized. So don't be surprised if you go holy molying over to your friendly scientist and he just laughs at you. By the way,
Yeah.
he also says if you want to jazz up the replicator, one option is to get a hold of an audio potentiometer, like an old volume control from some junked radio, or get one from Radio Shack, and calibrate it in some way with a voltmeter. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Maybe it can send radio frequencies that vibrate his replicated food at a certain, like, 22 hertz, and it stimulates the nutritions in
Oh,
his tap water. I don't dude, I
yeah,
don't know.
he does later update and say this is not recommended. It seems to be too harsh on my body. My current suggestion is to take one strength, maybe using a 1000 ohm resistor, and see how that goes. He is interesting. He says a possible theory behind the food replicator in electronic food is similar to explaining the workability of homeopathy. The preparation of homeopathic product in the classical manner involves dilution and succession, whacking it. It says in quote, or in parentheses,
Wait.
beyond the point where any molecules of the original substance remain. For instance, the original substance is snake venom. After diluting it 1 part to 100 and whacking it 100 times, all done 15 times, there is no actual molecules of snake venom left. It's its essence. Whatever you might think of this theory, many people find homeopathy effective. So something is at work on top of what's in your science books.
Get this guy out of here. What is he on, bro?
So over time, he keeps, updating. He's losing weight, obviously, and then sometimes he relapses. He says, I was a little hungry, so I ate some real food.
No
Oh,
shit.
oh, no
Wonder
kidding.
why, bro? That's
Um,
crazy.
so, and I don't think I need to tell you this, but here's a list of reasons why you should probably not do this. Steel cans can contain many different coatings or alloys that are not meant for electrochemical exposure. So probably already don't do this, but if you need more reasons, here you go. Um, Electrolysis can release chromium, nickel, or other metals, depending on its composition. You could generate harmful compounds. Electrical shock is possible, and injecting electrolysis byproducts is not medically validated, as he says. So, based on his descriptions, the food replicator was essentially a homemade electrochemical setup, and he was filling steel cans with water connected with a resistor and electrical current, and the current used or caused these chemical reactions in the liquid. And he believed that he was creating a substance carrying energetic or biological properties, and there's no evidence it created any nutrients whatsoever, only that it altered the water electrically.
Wow. Yeah. Kind of speechless. I don't know if you were gonna add this bit of information, and I could be completely misremembering, but didn't he try it with his, how do I keep this social media friendly? His own liquids, if you, like, know what I'm saying? His own excretions from the southern region. And I'm not talking about piss or shit.
Yeah. So he
Didn't
did
he?
he did he did in fact he was talking about experimenting with his own bodily fluids as part of the broader electronic food concept. And in one of the more controversial and strange parts of the blog, he discussed applying the same electrical process to his own semen. So he framed it as a biological substance already containing life-generating properties, and it was something that he believed could be enhanced or altered electrically, and for it to be a way to test whether the process worked differently on organic materials versus plain water. So, at one point, he did take the experiment further. He didn't run the current through water. He applied the same process as he did replicating the food through his own biological material, including, but not limited to, by the way, his own semen, believing that electrical manipulation was enhancing or altering its properties. And he treated it as another test case in his theory that electricity could modify life at a fundamental level.
Yeah.
So,
What a guy.
yeah, it's Paul Adams was a crazy guy. And to kind of wrap it up a bit, he does this, he gives updates for off and on 2004, 2005, 2007. In 2008, he says, I haven't really done much with this since 2004. September 24th, 2005. I'm alive and kicking, weight at 171.5 and blood pressure 120/87. I'm still somewhat scared of getting into taking electronic food again, though. So he just kind of updates. He says in June 28th of 2004, I suddenly realized that I was taking an awful lot of electronic stuff. There were all the potions I was downing. I have been using an purifier, sorry, not air puffer, that creates positive and negative ions. I was using a device that zaps food. I had a service I use sometimes that zaps my body. I didn't read this part. So I stopped all of it in a day. Things were marked improved and I could get around the lake again in a couple of days. Things were almost back to normal. A girl recently moved into the house. I rent a room here, and she is very energy sensitive. We get on very well as she shares some of my peculiar interests. She had been assessing the energy of my various products. She said the energy of the electronic silver was very strong and it acted on her body by draining the energy out of it. I thought that maybe it kills bacteria, etc., by draining the energy out of them, but that's just a shot in the dark. I have no evidence to back it up. I'll post again if anything new happens.
All right, yeah. So how'd it end?
So all we know is that in like 2005, he kind of stopped using it as much. So 2005, September 24th, alive and kicking, gives us his weight. December 24th, 2007, he just says, I haven't done much with this since 2004. And then the last update that we have is February 4th, 2015. Well, I haven't been here for a while. Still alive and kicking, weight okay, but now 196 pounds now, and blood pressure okay, with medication around 125/85. Haven't done any more research to speak of with regard to the food replicator. And that is the last that we heard of Paul Adams.
2015. Yeah, it's been
So I have a couple more stories, but I would love to hear the one that you got cooking.
yeah. Mine's not as long.
This one shouldn't have been that long. I was reading full excerpts because I thought that it would really help
mhm.
understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
But yes, please.
So mine's a little bit more grounded,
Hmm.
I guess. So I was gonna talk about this guy named Mike Markham. At the time, I think it was in the 1990s. Let me see here. 1995. He was 21, living in Stanbury, Missouri, and became fascinated with the concept of time travel. He began experimenting with a device known as Jacob's Ladder, which creates a continuous arc of electricity between two metal rods. During his experiments, he claimed to have witnessed a circular vortex, and even reported that a metal screw that he threw into it vanished and then reappeared a few feet away, leading him to believe that he had discovered a method of time travel.
What?
Yeah. So
What?
basically he decided that he wanted to take it a step further and try to build something that could fit his whole body. He, in order to be able to fit his whole body through that, he needed to find a lot of resources, and that led him to steal 6 transformers from the St. Joseph Light and Power Generating Station.
What? He just took them?
I don't even know how he got them. Aren't transformers like huge?
I thought those were the big cylindrical things. Oh man.
Gosh, dude, this guy, he tried. The theft, funny enough, led to a total local blackout. And his arrest, as you could probably imagine, he served 60 days in jail and was placed on probation. After his release, though, he wasn't necessarily discouraged. He decided to hop on a radio show called Coast to Coast AM,
No
hosted
way.
by Art Bell, where he shared his plans to continue to build this time machine, and that gained him the nickname Madman. So they called him Madman Mike Markham.
What?
Yeah. It goes further though. After a
What?
series of radio appearances and claims of conducting experiments with small animals, Markham then announced his intention to enter the time machine himself. However, shortly after his last public appearance in 1996, he vanished without a trace, and his disappearance obviously sparked numerous theories that he successfully time traveled. He did come back in around 2015, which seems like a common theme, interestingly enough. And he appeared on a radio segment where he provided updates about his life, including losing his home to a fire and living in Hawaii. And he launched a GoFundMe campaign in 2016 to fund his continued experiments. In 2022, he confirmed his well-being in a Reddit post, dispelling rumors of his death and clarifying that he was still pursuing his dream of building a time machine. I did read in one of the posts that when he disappeared for that little bit, I didn't see any like reputable articles about anything, but I saw a post of someone talking about how he came back and said that he did indeed go 2 years into the future during his disappearance. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, hey, I mean, if bro did it, bro did it. I mean,
Can you imagine meeting a guy off the street and you're having a conversation with him? Maybe you're like in line for coffee and they're like hey man, I really like your sweatshirt. I like your sweatshirt. And you're like, "Thank you." And he's like, "I have a time machine." And you have you have a time machine. Really? And you're like, "Could I see it?" He's like, "Yeah. Yeah. Everyone comes to see the time machine." And you get there and it looks like the most jerry-rigged, insane contraption, not following OSHA requirements. shenanigans you've ever seen in your life. What would you do? Like if you met this guy, you go to use his time machine. Where are you going? Where are you telling him you're going?
I'm not even gonna use it, bro. If that shit looks like rinky-dink metal pieces put together with like some screws, I'm so good.
Yeah, look, it looks like I made it.
Like
I don't
I
have any. I don't have
will
any
not
knowledge
be
of that.
going into that. Like, oh man, yeah, that's really cool. I have a meeting. I need to get to. Thanks for showing me though. Follow me on Instagram. Maybe we'll keep up. Have a
Yeah,
good
would
one,
you like to be
man.
a guest on our podcast, by the way?
Shout out,
If
Mike
someone told
Martin.
me that they were working on a time machine, they get first dibs on the next slot for the podcast. I'm I'm not skipping out on someone making a fucking time machine.
Oh man, I
I
don't.
can't believe he only went to jail for 60 days.
For stealing 6 Transformers. Like, what do you?
You you would think that those are like important and like that's an obstruction of
I mean,
property.
he caused a blackout in his in his town. So like,
Bro,
yeah.
do you remember the scene from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs where he finally launches his food? I think
Oh
it's also a food
yeah.
replicator. And Earl is like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Feel like wood!" That's what I would think is going on. You lose power in your house, and you just see this guy running. He's got transformers in his hands. And the police are just, you better put that shit back, brother. Like, what the
um
heck?
it is a food replicator. Flint
That's,
Lockwood diatonic super mutating dynamic food replicator FLD SMDFR.
I can't believe it. We all need an Officer Earl.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. I don't know exactly what I would do with a time machine, but I'm probably not getting into a prototype
Yeah.
made of 6 Transformers. I don't even know what you would making a time machine just sounds so I don't know.
I
How do I want to say it? I mean, I get why,
yeah.
but I promise that whoever makes the first time machine or teleporter or whatever it may be, you're not making it with no 6 Transformers.
In your backyard.
You,
It's not
yeah,
happening.
that's definitely not happening. Because imagine how much power you probably need to displace something's atoms into another timeline. There's just I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but
I
I gotta
mean,
admit, probably more than whatever 6 Transformers is giving you.
at least a whole town's worth. I
I can't
mean,
believe it.
at least we know for sure that a whole town's worth of power won't make a time travel device. You gotta think
No,
bigger. A whole
no.
state, maybe, could be next. And then a whole country could be next.
Yeah, that's just insano mode.
Yeah, I don't think I can do any of that. Dude hasn't updated since 2022 though, but apparently he was at least still alive and kicking at that time.
Yeah, well, maybe he went back to the future.
Maybe.
Did he? Did they confiscate the Transformers?
I don't know.
I assume that they would, unless he hid them.
Let me see. Yes. They definitely took the Transformers back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think on how you special, how the conversation to whatever company you get these Transformers from would have went. Like, hey, some oh well, it wouldn't be one of these. It'd be one of these because one of these isn't working because the power is gone. So you get on the old cell phone. Maybe if you can even use that. Hey, we had some jackass come by and we need 6 Transformers from you. And they're like, what? Yeah, he took our transformers and we have no power in the town right now. We're like, yeah, I could get that to you in like 3 to 5 days. Like,
Mm.
that's so crazy.
Wait. I did just find out. Okay, so
Mm,
Markham disappeared in 1997. And then when he did come back in 2015, they interviewed him again on his radio show. Oh, Bell interviewed, so the art guy, Midnight in the Desert, where Markham claimed that he had been transported 2 years into the future and 800 miles away, landing near Fairfield, Ohio, but he suffered
what?
amnesia. While living in a homeless shelter, Markham slowly remembered his name, his social security number, and other memories that enabled him to re enter society. However, the Missouri State Highway Patrol has no record of him being reported as a missing person. So, I mean, he was never. Yeah, he was never reported missing, at least.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, like, imagine that happens in your town and that's just something you get to talk about forever. And you're like, no, it happened. Look, it's in the newspaper.
I mean, I get maybe that's why he, like, got on the radio shows.
Can I toss us into one of the most mainstream ones that have probably happened in the past 20 years?
Yeah, let's get into
Okay.
it.
Well, I guess this is more than 20 years now. That's crazy how long ago this happened. So, imagine you're in a small mountain town and your life is quiet, and then one day a man rolls through Main Street in a homemade armored bulldozer, flattening buildings one by one, and it's not a movie. This is real. This is real life. So here's the story of Killdozer. Now, most people have heard this story. I just thought it fit so damn well with our topic. So Marvin John Heemeyer was born in October of 1951 in good old South Dakota. And he was a welder and a veteran. And he was an owner of a muffler repair shop in Granby, Colorado. And he was known to be skilled with metal, machinery. He was good with his hands. And by the early 2000s, he'd live in Granby for over a decade and was embroiled in long running disputes with the town officials and neighbors over these zoning issues and sewer lines and land access and stuff like that. So Keymeyer bought land next to his shop in 1992 and later got into conflicts over the zoning decisions. There was a concrete plant built near his property, and there were sewer connection issues and fines and stuff like that. And his requests and appeals to the local government were repeatedly denied or dismissed. And over more than a decade, all of his frustration built, and Heemeyer believed the town had wronged him and blocked his business and his livelihood, and the feelings that ultimately drove him towards this thing. So, between 2002 and 2004, Heemeyer bought a Komatsu D. Uh, let's see, a Komatsu D35-5A bulldozer at an auction, and secretly worked on this project for 18 months, mostly in a concealed shop. He reinforced this bulldozer with layers of steel plating and concrete, creating an improvised armored vehicle. And it had features like bulletproof viewing portholes, cameras connected to monitors inside, gun ports for rifles, fans and air conditioning for the interior. He was living his life in this thing. So it kind of looked like a homemade tank. and it was very machine-like, heavily fortified, and essentially impervious to any small, like, firearms. So he stocked it with guns, food, and enough water for a whole week, and built it so it couldn't easily be opened from the outside. And a day before my birthday, on June 4th, 2004, Heemeyer climbed into his armored bulldozer and began a 90-minute rampage through the city of Granby. He first crashed through the walls of the shop where he built the vehicle. Then he targeted buildings that he felt that had wronged him. The concrete plant, the town hall, a newspaper office, the utility company, banks, even the former mayor's home. So not the current mayor, the former mayor. And the police obviously tried to stop him, fired hundreds of rounds. But obviously this thing is encased in steel, so it stopped most of the attempts to disable the vehicle. And at one point, he fired weapons from inside the vehicle and aimed it at propane tanks and other dangerous targets. But believe it or not, despite all of the chaos, nobody died this whole time. It was like a miracle almost. But that's because uh, you can imagine this thing was not very fast, so the evacuations that happened, kept people out of harm's way and whatnot. But by the end of the rampage, the bulldozer eventually got stuck in the basement of a hardware store where Heemeyer was destroying, um, you know, the whole store, and it was trapped and surrounded by law enforcement, and he ended up taking his own life inside of the vehicle. So you can imagine how much damage he done, and it's not as much as I thought it would have been, but it's still a lot. It was $7 million worth
Oh
of
my
damage in
god.
this city. Yeah, it was a lot.
I
So
mean, shit,
you know,
that, like, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, he destroyed public buildings, random private property, infrastructure, like, and the crazy thing is, a lot of people in the town see Heemeyer as like this anti-folk hero, where he was a man just pushed too far by bureaucracy. But most people view his actions as dangerous and sick and reckless and whatnot. Like, it was ultimately just domestic terrorism. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. Like, I have you ever seen the video of it?
I don't think the video, but I've seen pictures.
I'll have to send you. There's a really fantastic YouTube video that it's like 10 minutes long. It goes over everything. It's fantastic. Not the story, but just the way that all of it was orchestrated. Like, you have this guy who's fed up and you just pushed him too far. Like, but
Yeah.
imagine you're like, man, I'm over this shit. I'm gonna buy a bulldozer. And people are like, that's weird, but like, what do you need that for a muffler shop? And then for years, he works on this. And suddenly, on a random summer day, a random summer evening, you just hear bang! And out of the shop comes this massive thing. It's got the treads, it's armored. Like, I just couldn't imagine what it was like.
I think I would shit my pants.
Yeah, I'm definitely evacuating.
Like, if I saw that coming for me, I would run.
I wonder how fast
I was just about to
it could
ask,
go.
like, imagine that shit was hitting, like, could hit 50 miles per hour, bro.
So it says a stock bulldozer of this model gets about 7 to 8 miles an hour in high gear.
Oh.
So this thing was going 5 to 7 miles an hour with the armor added and everything.
Well,
Which,
I
by the way,
mean,
over 60 tons. They say it potentially weighed.
that's a lot, bro.
So yeah, I mean 60 tons. I can't lift 1 ton. I don't even know if I can lift a half a ton.
60 tons is 120,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, you're not lifting that. So 1 ton is like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Good thing you didn't go on a bridge.
I mean, yeah.
That probably would have.
Collapsed. Like,
Yeah. How much? How much do the average semi truck weigh? 80,000 pounds. This thing weighed more than a fully loaded semi truck.
yeah. I can
So,
imagine. Let me
wowza.
look up a picture of this thing.
The Killdozer.
I mean, that shit
It,
looks like it was built like a tank, I'll be real.
yeah, I mean, and just think this happened in 2004. So the fact that he just had random monitors set up inside the tank is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. People were wild back then, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Like, I haven't heard of a Killdozer, like, nowadays. You know what I mean?
No, because I don't know. I actually don't know why there hasn't been one. There's probably more crazy people out there than there were then, but I don't know. Yeah,
Mm,
I just, I wouldn't imagine, like, I can't imagine, I mean, what it's like to be law enforcement and being like, this is what you get to deal with today.
Hey, go
Like, could you imagine?
pull over that
Goodbye, honey.
bulldozer.
I'll be back later. Put the chicken on. I'm feeling like chicken tonight. Like, oh, honey, okay. I'll see you later. Be safe. And then you get the radio. We have
Imagine,
a
like, being the
man.
wife and seeing that on the news.
You're like, oh no, he has to go deal with that.
Oh my gosh.
Like, just imagine, man. Imagine having to be the one that has to deal with that. The
That'd
only
suck.
the only reason that nothing else happened was because it got stuck and he ended up taking his life. He could have probably leveled numerous, like the whole town if he wanted to, if he didn't get stuck.
I mean, probably. But obviously, there was a flaw. He got stuck.
He did. He sure did.
So,
I just can't imagine.
somebody in
Uh,
chat said, do you think the bulldozer or the idea came first? I think
I
the
think,
idea,
yeah, I think the idea,
I
because
would
I doubt
guess.
that he went to an auction and was like, oh, I'm at this auction. They're auctioning off a bulldozer. Maybe I can use that someday. I think he was like, I'm done, and the closest thing to a tank is a bulldozer. So I'm gonna look for bulldozer like farming equipment or construction equipment auctions, and he went to go get one.
But also, like, how often would a bulldozer, like, just be up for auction like that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
maybe I just haven't been looking in the right places for a bulldozer because I'm never gonna buy a
Oh
fucking
no.
bulldozer, but, like, I feel like those wouldn't necessarily be incredibly common to come
Yeah, I
by.
mean, there's a lot of them just for sale. I don't know how it would be in 2004. But right now, you can buy a small bulldozer for $26,000, and you can get a pretty heavy duty looking one for 150. So I imagine on auction it probably went for less. This one's 13,000. This one's 8,000. So
I don't think I'll ever buy a bulldozer, but I guess that's good to know for future
yeah, well,
endeavors, just in
you know,
case.
if I do, we got big issues on the horizon.
You're gonna Killdozer 2.0.
I would never do such a thing. I don't even know why I what. There's no way that this is real. There's no way. There is a Hot Wheel
No shot.
kit. There's a
No
it's
shot.
called Hell on Wheels, and it says sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. Tread on them. I don't think it's real. I
Um,
think it's a custom made thing. It's called Hell Wheels. I want that. I want a custom packaged Killdozer.
Hot Wheels modeled?
Yeah.
I don't know.
More accurate model, it says. You can pick it up right now for $90.
I wanna invent something. I don't know what I wanna invent.
Well, don't do a food replicator. That's been done in real life and in a movie.
Yeah. Food Replicator was also, I think, in Star Trek too.
Yeah.
I need
And the
to
cigarette. What
ask
about the cigarette replicator?
what?
500 cigarettes. You've never seen that clip?
No.
That clip had me crack up for 3 days straight. I'm not gonna lie.
I have
It's a.
never heard of that.
I think it's from the Orville, which was like Seth MacFarlane's Star Wars, Star Trek, like spoof series.
Mm-hmm.
And the alien, they introduce the aliens to cigarettes, and he smokes a cigarette, and then he gets on the ship, and he instantly is hooked. So he goes over to the food synthesizer while he's taking a drag. He says, 500 cigarettes.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
It's so funny. It's shout out the Orville. If you could never take Star Trek, you should at least watch that. Also, shout out season 2 of Ted, because that's a series.
Never heard of that either.
You've never heard of Ted, the talking teddy bear with Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like I never really
Oh.
watched it.
Okay. Well, there's a
I
TV
didn't know.
series.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a TV series. I knew there was a
Oh,
movie.
it's so good. They had Brennan Lee Mulligan, the D&D guy, for one of the
Oh,
episodes.
I like that guy. He's cool.
He's cool.
Shout
That's
out.
that's what I got today. I have a
Here we
couple
go.
other ones, but they're like
Yeah, I was trying to like, for the life of me, I'm trying to remember this one experiment, but I can't tell you anything about it or what it was used for, and I can't find it
oh,
on the internet at all. But it's something to do with. It's not
wait,
like.
so you can't tell me anything about it. You can't find it
Yeah,
on the internet,
yeah.
and you don't know what to even look up or say.
So like I have a rough basis. I feel like I can picture it in my mind, but then it starts getting blurry. You know what I mean? I've
Well, you
been
have
working.
aphantasia, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been working on trying to picture things in my mind, okay? And like when I
Has,
close my
ha,
eyes, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it, and then it goes away.
never mind.
But okay, so this is what I got, and if
Okay.
anybody here knows what I'm talking about, please, for the love of God, let me know. I think I'm gonna go insane. So it was potentially either invented by a woman, it was built for a woman, or it was used by a woman. A woman was involved, okay?
Okay, Tab.
And it was paranormal related, but it was something along the lines of like either reading like the radio waves, or maybe speakers were involved, or maybe speakers weren't involved. I don't know, because it's like it's a big thing. It's not like a traditional, like it's not a spirit box, I don't think, or maybe it's like a big one. I don't know, but it's not like one of those handheld, like not a spirit box. It's not one of those EVPs. It's not used in traditional ghost hunting, but it was something related to either communicating with spirits or reading if spirits were there. And it was big. It was like it maybe took up the whole room, or it was maybe like a whole table. And that's kind of all I got. And I want to say, and like I even looked this part up too, I want to say it's in Zach Bagans Museum. But I can't, like, I looked it up and it, like, wasn't giving me anything. And I'm trying to figure out what
did you
it
Google?
was. Dude.
What did you item made by woman for ghost? Like what did you look up?
Give me a second and I'll tell you exactly what I looked up. Hold on.
Oh, amazing.
Let me okay, I just want you guys to know that I talk to Google like I'm talking to somebody. Because I feel like that gives me Reddit results, and I know that Reddit is super reliable. Okay, so I put...
Oh boy, here
Let me
we go.
see. Okay.
Yeah, how did you look this up?
What's the big device that I think a woman built for ghosts? I think it was ? I think there's like speakers and stuff. I want to say it might be in the Zach
No,
Bagans
you
Museum.
did not. You did not type all of that. You typed that. Read it again.
What's the big device that I think a woman built for ghosts? I think it was ? I think there's like speakers and stuff, comma. I want to say it might be in the Zach Bagans Museum.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the did it say no search results? Because I don't know what the fuck I would show you
No,
if someone
dude.
Googled that.
The fucking Google AI had to take over and start talking to me, and it was like, you may be thinking of a spirit box. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. Thanks, though, Google AI. No, it's actually because I don't even use Google. I use
Oh my
fucking...
god.
What is this even called?
Can you read it one more time?
I use Bing. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Bing don't got me. What's the big device that I think a woman built for ghosts? I think it was ... I think there's like speakers and stuff, comma. I want to say it might be in the Zach Bagans Museum.
Bro, asking it one question and then putting the question mark and then asking a second question is fucking crazy.
I told you, I talked to Google like I would just be like texting somebody.
Oh my
I don't
God.
just like look, cause like
Oh.
earlier, I was looking up
Oh.
spoilers because we started watching like a cop show or something, and I was like, what happens to this character throughout the whole series of this show? I'm like, yeah, just...
You're evil.
I'm gonna have a conversation with Google and Bing. Sue me. Yeah.
You hate fun.
Hey, you hate fun. Why don't you talk to Google like it's your friend? Yeah, you guys have AI, I have Google, okay?
Oh
Bing,
my God.
actually.
Oh my God. I haven't laughed that hard in forever. That is, I mean, obviously you didn't get the answer, but that's amazing.
Hold on, I pulled it up. I pulled up the search. Give me a second.
Oh God.
This is what I got. It says the fucking AI had the answer. And it didn't give me an answer.
Can you move your face out of the way and please show the class this Google search?
Oh, good lord.
Oh my God. It's two full sentences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. This is why we're friends.
It might have
my
actually have been this one.
Oh, man.
It's not Frank's box.
You're gonna have to pull me out with a stretcher. Oh, I might need the hospital.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man. Oh. Bro.
I mean, it gave me some search results. So, I mean, hey.
You would think that with you asking such a specific question with 2 whole sentences that it would give you a named result and not just say, you might be thinking of a spirit box. Like, no, I'm looking for something specific.
You'd think. I genuinely, like, don't fucking know what it is. It's like, it's right there. Maybe I'll look at the picture.
Do you have a picture?
Okay, maybe... Yeah, so the search results, when I swap it to images, it gives me not shit, dog. It gives me...
Well, you're telling me that the 2 sentences you tossed into Google, there's no images coming up for it.
No, it gives me brain benders.
Yeah, this is giving me a brain bender. I
It's
don't know what the fuck is happening.
Find the number... Can you find the number 18? Are you trying to test, like, my mental stability, Bing?
Oh, it's testing my mental stability right now.
I feel pretty stable. Okay. I like to
Wow.
talk to Bing. Bing and Google are my friends, okay? I gotta treat them nice before they, like, rise up and kill us all, you know what I mean? How do you Google things? Do you just type in, like... Like, if you were trying to look up, like, something about the Killdozer, right? Would you just type in Killdozer? Or would you just type in...
Yeah.
What can you tell me about the Killdozer?
I know what it can tell me if I just look up Killdozer. I didn't look up exactly Killdozer, but here's what I'm going to guess, and you could test it. I'm going to guess it either comes up with the Killdozer or the guy's name, and then there's going to be a Wikipedia article for the Killdozer and for the guy.
If I look up, what can you tell me about the Killdozer? Or if I just look up Killdozer?
If you just look up Killdozer, I think I've used enough Google to assume. I think it's going to be the guy's name.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, the very first thing, is actually Killdozer Arbiter Core Book 1, Amazon.com.
Oh,
and it's tied with Killdozer Blu-ray 1974.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Hold on. Killdozer rabbit hole.
Yeah, Killdozer, and then it leads to the Wikipedia article of Marvin Heemeyer.
I guarantee you he watched this shit.
Yeah, Killdozer.
There's a 1974 movie that's sci-fi horror called Killdozer.
A small construction crew. A small construction crew on a remote island faces a deadly threat when a bulldozer becomes possessed by an alien force. As the unmanned machine goes on a slow but relentless rampage, the crew must find a way to survive. While often criticized for its far-fetched premise and limited suspense, it has a certain campy charm and cult following.
We have to watch Killdozer.
What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes?
Probably a 5.
There's only one review.
I mean, we have to.
There's a 31% popcorn meter. I don't even know what that means, but
probably not great. So the Killdozer movie was inspired by 1941 science fiction novella of the same name by Theodore Sturgeon, originally published in Astounding Science Fiction magazine. The film adapted the story of the construction crew on an isolated island battling a bulldozer possessed by an alien entity. That's amazing.
yeah. Somebody in chat tapped in and is trying to help me. And I'm looking them up and seeing if those are the things that I'm trying to find.
What you know about the psychic vibration detector?
I don't think that's it. It was like a big thing. Like, it took up at least a whole table. If not a whole room. And it was like an old photo, but probably not like too old. You know what I mean?
I can buy a vibration noise sensor for paranormal investigation hunting on eBay for $15.
No, it's none of those. Damn. What is this goddamn thing? What paranormal devices does Zach Bagans have in his museum in Las Vegas? I can't even tell you for sure if he has it. It was like I swear to God, maybe I'm living in a past life right now. Maybe I'm remembering memories that aren't even mine. It's like I specifically remember walking in a room and there were like big circular things. Could have been speakers, could have been microphones. And I think I specifically remember I was told to not be in that room for too long. Like you can go in, you can look, and then you have to leave. But I don't think it was on. Like I think you had to turn it on. And like maybe the paranormal inventions over the years. Maybe it was like, maybe it wasn't necessarily anything about ghosts. Maybe it was like energy. Bro, I'm about to lose my whole entire, I'm gonna have to spend all night. I don't even know what to look up. Okay, maybe if I look up paranormal invention, photo of woman sitting in room with equipment. Maybe? Oh, don't give me fucking stock images of ghosts. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, I'm gonna lose my holy marbles. All of them.
Not the holy marbles.
Every single God-loving marble. Maybe it wasn't even in. Bro! Oh, this is gonna make me. Paranormal. Invention. By woman. Maybe. Okay, well, whatever. Regardless, if I figure it out, I'll bring it to the next episode. If I don't figure it out, I might suffer for the rest of my life trying to figure it out. The last thing that I have left to say, if you haven't seen the movie Undertone, go see it. And make sure you either have surround sound in your house when you watch it, you're wearing headphones, or you see it in theaters. The sound alone is worth watching a movie, and that's all I'm gonna say. Good movie. It's unique.
I will say that a movie is really good if Tab takes time out of the day after it to text me about it. So
I was horrified, actually. The last 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of the movie made the whole movie worth it. It was horrifying. I was genuinely terrified through the last little bit of that movie. The ending of the movie really messed me up. It was a good movie.
do you think it'll scare me?
I don't know. The reason why I was like scared is trying to figure out a way to talk about it without spoiling it. It was unexpected in the sense of you just weren't there's no way. And you could have expected it, yeah.
Is it some like jump scare bullshit?
No.
No. Oh,
No.
I like that. Here's my thing. I promise this is I didn't think that we were gonna be here, but I don't think you're a horror movie if your trope if the main trope is just sudden sounds or whatever. I don't think that's a horror movie.
I will say
Not sounds. That's not what I mean. I mean like jump scares. I think if your movie revolves around jump scares as being the scary thing, I think that sucks.
it really depends on what you classify as jump scare. Because you technically could classify this as a jump scare, but it's like the whole 30 minutes is a jump scare.
That's fine.
You know
I
what I
wouldn't
mean?
say that's a jump. I mostly mean like a movie where you
Like the
are
mountain YouTube video where the car is driving through like the hills and then all of a sudden a
just,
zombie
yeah,
just pops up on the screen and goes, ah!
just something where you're just like not like you're letting your guard down. Like just as a human, like us as humans, I feel like most people are prone to jump scares because you're like fight or flight time, but I don't think that's like actual scary. I think that's just your body reacting. That's why I think it's cheap. I don't know. But
Yeah.
if you can like genuinely make me scared, like after because okay, after a jump scare, I'm not like wow, I'm really scared that that's going to happen to me. I'm like that was that came out of nowhere, and then after the movie, you're walking out and you're like eh. But if you can get it to a point where I'm walking out of that theater and I'm like looking behind my back and I'm freaked out for a couple days, you did a damn good job.
So I can't exactly describe the feeling that I had when I was leaving the movie theater, but like I was scared like all the way up until we got home. And even when we got home, I still felt off. Like I felt like something was off. And I don't know, the whole ending just gave me an incredibly bad vibe
Mm.
in terms of like I walked out of the theater, like the theater was packed. So granted, because it was out for a bit, so the theater that we watched it in was in one of the smaller theaters, and it was packed. Like there was people like sitting next to us, in front of us, like in pretty much every row, and the people when the credits started rolling, the people next to us we didn't talk for the whole movie. Like we don't talk to strangers, okay? The people next to us like verbally out loud turned to us and was like, "What the fuck?" And we turned to them and we were like, "What the fuck?" Or maybe they weren't actually talking to us, but like we were both talking out loud and in theory responding to each other, but not actually. And I left the theater feeling as if I was possessed. Or like I was at risk of being possessed. Like real life possessed. That shit scared me so bad.
I
It
think I'm
unsettled
I,
me.
di- I didn't realize how sunburnt I was.
Oh my god, you're peeling.
Yeah, did
You can't notice from far away.
oh really?
No. Only when you move
Yeah,
up
that's
close.
crazy. I didn't realize that.
I don't go
I have to
outside.
moisturize.
I
You what?
moisturize every day. I don't go outside.
I don't either. It was one time.
But word, that's all
Oh,
I
my
got.
my recommendation, I haven't even seen it yet, but don't cheat yourself out of it. Go watch Project Hail Mary. It is apparently like top 10 best space movies that has been out in a very long time. So do yourself a favor and watch Undertone and watch Project Hail Mary.
Not
Maybe make it a
sponsored.
double, yeah, a double feature night and do some Project Undertone. It is apparently that good. I will let you know next week because I simply have to. I'm gonna watch Undertone and Project Hail Mary, I think.
Fire.
So yes, go watch those. That's all I got.
Word? Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This has been Midnight Oil, and we hope you guys have enjoyed. If you're not following, go ahead and follow. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't liked it, go ahead and like it. You can catch us here at our new time on twitch.com/midnightoilentertainment at 6
Twitch.tv.
p.m. Yeah, sure, same thing. At 6 p.m. EST. You can find us on whatever you listen to your podcasts on. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, stuff like that. Um, but other than that, you guys have a good night.
Good night.